this is Sable Chicken, and this is a video response to Hogtie Champ. And Hogtie Champ, I'd like to thank you for your video response that you made to me. It was nice to see your face, and I'm sorry that I'm not showing mine. I mean, when someone shows their face, I think there's a lot of little subtle things that clue you into what they're saying, and that's really nice. I appreciate that, and I wish YouTube hadn't gotten so bad. I mean, I just feel like I'm judged this way and that, and being a woman, judged even more so by your looks. I'm no spring chicken. So anyway, I want to thank you for the time you put into giving me a lot of information on help with the DMCAs. It's a real education. I have to admit, completely ignorant on, I mean, a vague idea of what was going on, but in all, I see that, the atheist community has probably been dealing with this a lot longer than most Christians, and I'm not exactly sure why. It seems like the atheists are getting DMCA'd by atheist names, and Christians by Christian names, and it's trolls, just trying to stir it up. A lot of things I feel like I've learned out of this. Besides just learning about the DMCAs and how hopeless that situation is, I hope you consider it. It's kind of amazing. You said that you don't believe in any of that New World Order stuff, but when you start looking into stuff like this, and you're like, wow, it was United States Congress people who put this into order, and it's not to help the people, it's help big business, and then the whole world has to pay for it. That lines up with the New World Order. Pretty soon we'll all have to have some kind of who knows, a biometric identification, eye scan, fingerprint. They're already making computers like that you touch, with your fingerprint to get in. It's just more restrictions on everyone else's freedom. Laws are put into place to, more laws have to be made to fix the problems the other laws made. Anyway, I'm glad that you've given me a couple days to make this video, because I was kind of emo about this whole thing, and it was nice that you said I was handling it well. I didn't feel like I was handling it that well, but just trying to look at, what is God trying to tell me out of this? And I mean, there becomes a personal attachment to things, even something like YouTube, an attachment to that where I just should let it go without any problems. It wasn't like, I mean, I was angry at first, and I'll admit I was a little confrontive to the atheist community, not as really accusing, because I think I understood it was, it's trolls, although the possibility is that there was malicious done in the group. But I'm not going to lay that on the atheists that way. But I got a comment tonight from somebody else, and it was like, they feel it's this particular guy felt like it's his duty, and I've heard this comment before over and over again, it's his duty to be offensive to people who believe in God, because he's rational and we're not. And so it's his job to be offensive, and I have no right not to be offended. But he'll fight for my freedom so that I can be offensive too, and we can all be offensive to each other. I don't know if I want off this planet. That doesn't sound like it's a betterment of the world. And so I was asking, talking to Gearup about all this, and he wanted to know what was your 5 minutes. All I need is 5 minutes, and you could fix this for us. And it's more than that. Why did you want Sean's name? I could see from your position, not Sean's name, but get a hold of Sean and drag him into it, and then maybe it could clear up a lot of stuff. But he was publicly tried and convicted and kicked off YouTube, and it's just crazy to try to resurrect him and drag him into this when Gearup, his contact with Sean was very it's very minimum, and that respect of each other's privacy and keeping that, I'm not going to break that boundary of my privacy. And you take my videos, I'm not going to give up my privacy. My videos aren't worth that. I just have to figure out a different way of doing things. So, it's kind of like, well, what else do you want? Gearup was asking, and it's like, what's in it for you? And I told him, sometimes I think it's the human condition of actually wanting to communicate and talk to someone. I mean, if you went through this and you went through this alone, I mean, I at least, could share it with Gearup. I mean, it took us all night to put our videos on private, and I still don't have all my videos on private. Don't tell anyone, because I'm still putting them on private. It's taking forever. And I've got, people like Shredder. He's telling me he can file a DMCA in 90 seconds. I was like, oh man, it takes so long to put everything on private. And I watched his account, Gearup's, go down 4:30 in the morning. I looked over his channel. I was like, he's still got 11 videos up. Well, that's not good. Refresh it, and it's like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, gone. I could call him up and say, I watched the countdown. But if you don't have that, it just feels really wrong, and then you're embittered, and how can, I guess my big issue about this whole freedom of speech thing is, if we can't talk to each other with respect, and I know I keep hearing, well, you don't really deserve respect. You religious, crazy nut balls, you don't deserve respect. But if we can't talk to each other with respect, I mean, I just feel everyone's hurting. And I mean, I've seen some of these people that, I mean, like Shredder. I'm like, he was so blocked, blocked him and moved on, forgot about him. It's just like, oh, he's one of the same. And I just became like a duck, the water just going to roll off my back. Because I don't know what rain is coming down that's to feed me or what's meant to drown me. And I rewatched your videos, the part 1 and part 2, and the insults and calling me insane, and the first time I watched it, it didn't hurt, because I'd been so conditioned, like, I just blow it off. I blow it off. I mean, I take it in. It hurts, but when you made a video like a friend, and then I listened to that, all of a sudden the video I had already heard. I knew the content. Now it hurt. And I don't know, that's one of the things I learned about myself is how protective I have become, and I hope I haven't been. I just don't know how to deal with it. I mean, who do you block and who do you not block? I can't talk to everyone, and if people come at me so offensively, I mean, what's the appropriate way to deal with it? It's a lose-lose situation. I can hardly even read comments anymore. And the whole communication is being broken down. Anyway, my time is up.